I'm back. It's been a while. I know tragedy struck upon us. Cena got fired, but I'm not too worried about it. It's just kayfabe. Well, I'll still be back in a few months. But as you can see, I will be reviewing Smackdown versus Raw 2011. Let's get started. So, when you turn the game on, the opening screen looks pretty good. John Cena giving an attitude adjustment to Randy Orton. So far, so good. As you can see, they got the original training area, just as Smackdown 2010. Looks good. They actually edited it. The background looks better. And as you can see, John Cena and Randy Orton look much better. As we start the game, the grappling system is a little bit different. You have to actually do smaller moves to work up to your power grapples. Now, as you can see with that fisherman suplex I just did, you can actually change the way if you want to pin him or not, like that. The moves, the strikes are pretty much the same. It's just the grappling that throws you off a little bit. And instead of doing the grapple to get into a struggle submission, all you have to do now is click the right analog stick. And then it gets you into a struggle submission. But so far, the graphics are good, the game looks pretty good. Alright, as you can see, there's some new things. WWE Universe. It's basically like a never-ending story mode with much better cutscenes than career mode. Career mode, to me, was awful because it just kept getting too repetitive. The WWE Universe is actually like a never-ending story mode. Even when you in one-on-one mode or just play when you go into the match, you're still in WWE Universe mode. As you can see down here, it says your matches. So that's pretty good. Got Road to WrestleMania. The Road to WrestleMania definitely wasn't forgot about this time. We've got 5 new ones versus Undertaker, which is Road to WrestleMania, where you compete to beat Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. We got Christian ones, that's good. John Cena one, that's good. Rey Mysterio, this was, out of all of them, the worst one. I just didn't like it. If you're not a Rey Mysterio fan, you wouldn't like it. Chris Jericho, this was a very interactive one. If I had to rate them, I'd rate them Undertaker as the best, Chris Jericho as the second best, Christian as the third, John Cena as the fourth, and Rey Mysterio as the fifth. The Undertaker one was very good because it wasn't as realistic as it should have been. Because you could actually like capture souls going into facing him at WrestleMania. You capture souls. There was caskets lying around everywhere. And then after you capture all the souls, there's Mass Kane. You get to unlock Mass Kane in the locker room. And Kane's gonna guide you through the whole WrestleMania. Christian is just reliving Edge and Christian's days, and either you facing him at WrestleMania or both of you holding both world titles. John Cena, it was the one involving MVP and Randy Orton. It was basically like sort of like SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. You had the Randy Orton rules. I noticed that. And also what I noticed in this John Cena one, it was a time machine. That was pretty weird. Rey Mysterio one, it's not that good. I really don't want to explain it. It wasn't that good. But you had Evan Bourne, who has no mic skills, Rey Mysterio, and Jack Swagger. Basically, Ray got hit by a car, and he's trying to find out who did it. Chris Jericho's, I love this one because it was interactive. It was a basic storyline, like you've seen it happen a couple times. Jericho steals the belt, and then at the time you have to run away from Triple H, who you stole the belt from, and that's how it gets very interactive. Every 5 seconds you get beat up, and then you try to run away with the belt again. But he keeps catching you until you get to the parking lot. And then it comes to WrestleMania when you win. So that's a good one. I'll go to the John Cena one just to show you how much better it is. Instead of you just standing in your locker room nowadays, it's way more interactive, and it kind of reminds you of Smackdown, Shut Your Mouth, I believe, where you can walk around backstage, and that's what I like. And see, this is your loading screen, basically, like you're on the road. So I really like this Road to WrestleMania. It's something I can play more than once, unlike Smackdown 2010, where you could just play one time and it's not a thrill anymore. But see, as you can see, you can walk around backstage. Cena looks really good. You can see the detail in his face, the Never Give Up shirt. You hear Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler commentating.
Canada, welcome to Monday Night Raw. The road to WrestleMania is underway.
Sounds very good.
We'll be at the
So you got guys standing in the background. You can talk to them. Sometimes, most of the time, they'll just brush you off like, you go away or something, but you can actually talk to some people.
Cena, this match tonight is my ticket to the top, baby. The people want to see MVP take home the WWE Championship. No offense, but if I have to whoop on you to get there, you can bet your last dollar it's happening.
Well, look who's finally gone crazy. Man, they've been saying for years people shouldn't live underneath power lines. Well, I guess you're living proof.
Oh, I know. You got jokes. I'm serious, though. I'm going home as the #1 contender tonight. But if through some miracle you come out on top, I ain't gonna hate, just so long as at the end of this, Randy Orton gets that big mouth of his slapped. Feel me?
And sorry if I didn't go into more detail about this Road to WrestleMania. Basically, it's MVP and Randy Orton and John Cena, they're in a rivalry. John Cena and Randy Orton are the good guys, but then John Cena goes psycho. And then everybody starts to hate him. He gets booed. It's like a psycho Cena character. They could have done that in WWE. That would have been a good storyline. But let's get on to a match. And loading screens, they're just like fun facts. Pointless yet amusing for a loading screen. To give you something to read for the time being. Alright, let's go into a one-on-one match. And just to show you how, this is the pick your create character screen. I've unlocked almost everybody. I've got them almost all. Pretty good. Oh, before we get into a match, let me talk about the Creator Superstar. The Creator Superstar is basically the same, but there's a little more aspect to it now. I'll show you my created character. Christian Banks. I'm going to my wrestling attire. This is my Creator Superstar. He looks pretty good. They've got good graphics. I gave him the Y2J logo on his kick pads. Skin face pretty good. The one thing I did notice, they don't portray African people that good. They only have 2 shades of black people. Unlike Smackdown vs. Raw 2010, when they had many shades and you could actually edit the color. You can't edit the color up here. The clothing looks good. You got all your basics. All these. It's pretty good. You got your upper body, average. It's the same stuff as basically last year. So if you play Smackdown vs. Raw 2010, you should know what I'm talking about. Alright, now let's get into a match. This game is really good. I've enjoyed it. I've had it for a while now, ever since October, the end of October, and I've constantly been playing it. So it's pretty good. Like on Smackdown vs. Raw 2010. I played it for about 3 months and I was done because I had already unlocked everything. This game is more different. It's more hard and more challenging. I use my Creator Superstar. And I'll face John Cena, my favorite wrestler. See, one bad thing about this screen right here, it's hard to see. Like, you can't tell who that is unless you look at the name. Oh yeah, and one thing I did notice, they have Rob Van Dam in the game. That's good. That's good. This was actually before he signed with TNA, so yeah. Alright, let's try to find John Cena. I'm gonna put him in his Nexus attire. This didn't come with the game. I created it. It's not really Nexus. You don't have the insert. I just customized it black and yellow. See. Got a raw loading screen. Loading screen times are pretty good, but sometimes they can drag on. And all you see is this blinking now loading logo. As long as you know it's blinking, it's still working. So that's a good thing. Smile Creative Superstar. It's a pretty good call. As you can notice, you can actually carry 2 belts in this game. Unlike if you just had 2 belts, you just carry 1. You have 1 around your waist and run over your shoulder. It looks really good. But although I wish the belts could be a little bit bigger, they look a tad small to me. Interest is good. They actually added more stuff like old suit, like Randy Orton's old Titantron, Christian's old Titantron. They have new music like The Miz, Zack Ryder. It's really good. Let's see the champ's entrance. John Cena. See, I wish you could edit the hat too, so it looks kind of odd. You got the blue and orange hat with the black and yellow Nexus gear. It looks kind of odd. But Cena's overall is good. He's the second highest wrestler, I believe. Always The Undertaker will be the highest rated. He's a 98. I'm waiting for the year he'll be 100 because I know it's gonna happen. And see, here's the cutscenes from WWE Universe, like that. A guy can buy a ticket, you can get beat up before the match. It's kind of like a concept from Raw 2. But the graphics are pretty good. I'll show you a little bit of my skill.
And already in the thick of things with this great contest. Well, apparently he just wanted a closer look. Oh, man! WWE Magazine out this month, and you'll find some interesting articles in there about all the superstars here in the WWE. Even all a move like that.
The game keeps you very interested. Here's my signature. And now I'll go for my finisher. I actually have Starship painted.